LinkedIn social proof. Are you legit or are you the guru that lives in your mom's basement?
Welcome to the next episode of LinkedIn to Lead Generation with Hannah Tai. Hannah, how did you know that I was hiding out of my mom's basement? I thought that was a secret. What are we talking about today? What do you mean legit?
Well, today we are going to talk about the fact that obviously people need social proof to believe that you are who you say you are. And they're going to check you out all over LinkedIn and other social networks as well. So you better be able to back it up. And so that's what we're going to talk about today.
Excellent. All right. So what are we going to, let's get into some specifics. Just give me the quick rundown here of what we're going to cover in this episode here.
Sure. So today we're going to talk about what endorsements are versus recommendations, because some people get confused about the difference. We're also going to talk about the optimal situations that occur that allow you to, or that will facilitate you to easily ask for a recommendation.
Okay.
And then we're also going to talk a little bit about the ways that you can actually ask for a recommendation to most likely get one.
Well, that all sounds like good stuff that's going to beef up our LinkedIn profiles here. So let's dig into that first one there. Right, endorsements versus recommendations. Right, recommendations used to be around a lot longer, and then they come up with this whole endorsement thing. Let's help clarify what these are and how to use them.
Okay, so really quick. So endorsements are the keywords and the skill set that you have already listed in your profile that you want to be known for. Okay. And we've talked about that a little bit before, that you want to make sure that those keywords are right on target because they help you get found in your profile. But they also showcase some social proof that you are good at these particular skills. So what you want to do is you want to make sure that you have them listed. So if there's, 5 or 10 things that are your key specialties, you want to make sure that they are listed. Okay, right. And then people can just click on endorse, whatever.
Right. And just to be clear, Hannah, so when I'm on my profile, this is the thing that keeps popping up at the top that says, that shows me a couple of my LinkedIn people and says, hey, does so-and-so know about social media? And I get to click on it and endorse them for that. So that's the endorsement part, so that people know that that's where those are coming from, is other people are seeing that pop up about you, and then they're just clicking on it or not clicking on it.
Right, and that's why you want to really make sure that you put in the words that the keywords that you want to be known as an expert for. And it's a really simple, easy way for people to, do a nice little recommendation, makes them feel good, makes you feel good, whatever. So that's something simple. Now, a recommendation is when you actually have a, couple sentences or a paragraph, that someone has taken the time to write about you, one of your connections.
So this is a much bigger commitment, right? The other one is just a click of the mouse. This one is, I'm literally giving you a testimonial. I'm sitting down and writing you a reference.
Exactly. So there are references, testimonials, whatever word you want to use. They use that will help you, and you can display that on your profile.
Right. So these are real powerful, obviously, but they require a little more work. Someone's not just going to necessarily automatically or spontaneously write me a recommendation if I don't do something to make that happen. So we're going to talk a little bit now about what those opportunities are. So when can I ask for a recommendation? How does this tend to come up and not create socially sticky situations for me?
Right. So this is a real tough one for everybody. I mean, even if you're fabulous at what you do, especially in today's society, everyone is so busy, and they can love you to pieces and think you're fabulous, but they're not going to think to themselves, I should really write someone a recommendation on LinkedIn, because they're just so busy trying to do everything that they do every day, right? But so what I always say is that if someone has maybe left you a voicemail or written in an email, wow, that session that I had with you today was so incredibly helpful. I really feel clear about, whatever topic. That would be a perfect time to just say, hey, you know what? I really appreciate that. I'm trying to work on my LinkedIn profile a little bit. Would you mind? It really meant a lot to me. Would you mind if I sent you, a recommendation request? And could you just put that or paraphrase that or whatever?
Right. Well, no, that's such a great thing to highlight, Hannah. That's terrific, because the person's already done it, right? So you're, as opposed to just asking, hey, would you mind? And even if they say yes, right. I mean, as you said, everyone's busy, so they may just never get around to it. But if they've already given you an email or a message of some kind, they've already written it. So for you to just bounce right back and say, hey, would you mind? And you can literally feed it right back to them. You could send them an email with, send them the request, and have just sent them their own email back to them with their own language. Say, hey, could you just cut and paste it and put it right in there?
Right, and just say, if you want to massage this, so you can just cut and paste that in there. Or if they left you a voicemail, you can just put that in there. And Most people at that point will be, because it's fresh in their mind. They're feeling all this gratitude. They're feeling really great, and then it's right there. And all they have to do is just maybe add a little bit to it, massage it. Because most people won't just be like, "Oh yeah, that's great." They'll try and add a little bit to it because we like to help people, and if we think you did a great job, we're gonna let people know about that.
No, I love that because, like I said, you're striking when the iron's hot. You're not imposing. You're just saying, "Hey, love what you said, but LinkedIn is so important to my business. Would you mind putting it there?" And then you're making it totally easy because, of course, LinkedIn gives you that tool to request that, and so now, boom, you're just going to get it done, and you're not feeling all socially awkward about imposing on this person. So I love it.
Exactly.
Cool.
So that's just a perfect time to do that.
And I'm going to guess, obviously, if you've already got a system in place in your business where you're collecting written testimonials, it sounds very similar to me. If someone's bothered to write me a written testimonial, or I've got something on my website, to be able to turn right around, right in the moment when they just did it, and say, "Awesome! Would you mind taking it one step further and just kind of sticking that right there on my LinkedIn profile?" Again, it feels like you're not imposing if they've already kind of taken that step. So.
Exactly. Or even if they've done that in the past for you, and you've reconnected with them, you can just say, "Hey, by the way, I love, every time I see that testimonial that you wrote, it really touches me. I'm beefing up my LinkedIn profile."
Right. So you're giving them that reason for why it's helpful to you, right?
Yeah. Would you mind if I just, copy that in there and whatever, and would you mind allowing me to display that, and doing that, and most people will be happy to do that.
Right, and we're already kind of morphing right into that last point that we're talking about there. But any other tips on how to really kind of approach this person, or how to ask for that recommendation? What's worked the best for you in terms of just even giving us some phrases or some language that has really given you a good result when you've done it?
Sure. So when you do this, there's a couple things that you want to make sure that you're doing. Number one, you want to make sure that, again, as we went over before, it's very easy if they've just done it to, really pounce on that opportunity because it's really fresh in their mind and they're feeling those feelings. However, if, say, you haven't talked to somebody in a long time, but you worked on a project together and it was really successful, there's a lot of positive things that went on, and that's something you want to highlight.
Right.
You can write them and say, "Hi, Joe. I know we haven't chatted in a while. I hope things are going great with you. I'm really trying to highlight this particular success, that we had together when we worked at blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. There are 3 things that I wanted to highlight," and then write about what those 3 things are that you want them to talk about. Because to ask someone to sit down and write this whole record, they don't know what you want them to highlight. So you want to make sure that you're specifically telling them what you want them to talk about, okay?
Right. I love that too, Hannah, because I know that people feel awkward sometimes doing that because they feel like, "Oh my God, I feel like I'm putting words in this other person's mouth." But I think you're hitting the nail on the head, which is, again, reverse the roles and imagine you're receiving this and you're really busy. You might want to do it, but if you don't have some I don't know, prime the pump kind of language, then you're going to put it on the bottom of your to-do list and you're never going to get to it, and that's going to create a bigger sort of social awkwardness. If someone has reminded me of what to focus on, I look at that as, okay, I mean, I could say, "No, I don't want to do it," but if I'm going to do it, you've made my life easier, and that makes it more likely that I'm going to get it out of the way for both of our sakes. So. Right.
And you can say, just a sentence or 2. Yep. So you're not, so you're setting the expectation that they don't have to write you this long, obnoxious thing, and then you give them the out.
Yep.
You say, "I know things are crazy. If now is not a good time, no worries, whatever." And that way, you know, it's not weird, it's not awkward. If you see him again, you know, he's not like, oh my gosh, you know, or he feels pressured or she feels pressured in any way.
Yep. No, I love it because, I mean, in another context, I did a very similar thing to get endorsements on a book that I was writing, and it was just, you know, you feed people some language, say, look, I'm just giving you this because I know you're busy. Feel free to write something totally different or paraphrase this if it works for you.
Right.
But these are the things I'm trying to focus on. And like you said, you close with that out. Hey, you know, if you can't get to this, I totally understand.
Right.
But, you know, this would really help me out if you could do it. Great. So
exactly,
cool.
Exactly.
Well, this has been terrific, Hannah. I mean, again, we're talking about ways that you can really get this social proof and show that you are legit. I love it that you're not the guru in the basement of in your mom's basement. These are not rocket science, difficult, complicated things to do, but they're just really important. So getting the endorsements and the recommendations and understanding the difference, knowing when are these great strike while the iron is hot moments to ask for the recommendation, and then, you know, understanding the mechanics of how to go about asking for that recommendation and getting it done. Perfect, really helpful stuff. You know, I know I'm going to use these things. I hope other people will as well. But if people want a little more personalized attention, Hannah, you're here for them as a LinkedIn consultant, right?
Right, absolutely. So please feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn. I'm always here to help. And thanks so much, everybody. I appreciate it. And
all right, well, we've got Hannah's information right up here on screen as well, so feel free to get in touch with Hannah, and we will see you back for the next episode of LinkedIn to Lead Generation.